This organization is special. It means so much to so many people. It's a special place to work, too. Our staff...
Hey, everyone. I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy deep dive Cardinals coverage like this, please take a second and hit that subscribe button right now. It genuinely makes a difference. Now let's get into it. Because what's unfolding between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox right now doesn't feel real. It feels like a fever dream. At this point, you'd be forgiven for wondering whether Major League Baseball is quietly experimenting with a new expansion concept, the Boston Cardinals Sox or the St. Louis Redbirds. Because the level of trade activity and communication between these two franchises has reached a point that is no longer normal, no longer subtle, and no longer ignorable. This isn't routine off-season chatter. This isn't speculative fan fiction. This is a sustained, active, front office relationship that is reshaping the Cardinals roster in real time. And now, according to multiple reports, including information connected directly to Ken Rosenthal, the next name on the table is Brendan Donovan. Yes, that Brendan Donovan. The Swiss Army knife. The Gold Glove winner. The heartbeat utility player Cardinals fans adore. And possibly the most valuable trade asset St. Louis has right now. The context: this didn't come out of nowhere. Let's rewind for a moment. The Cardinals and Red Sox have already completed major business together this offseason. Wilson Contreras, gone. Sonny Gray, gone. Both sent to Boston. And those weren't desperation moves. They were calculated, strategic, clean exits that aligned with a broader organizational shift. Now comes the next phase. According to individuals briefed on the discussions, information first circulated via Boston-focused reporting and later echoed by national insiders. St. Louis and Boston have discussed a deal that would send Brendan Donovan to the Red Sox, where he would likely slot in as their everyday second baseman. The timing matters. This information surfaced immediately after the Contreras trade, during a period when most front offices go quiet. Instead of silence, we got smoke. And where there's smoke in Major League Baseball, there is almost always a fire being carefully managed behind closed doors. Why this makes sense, even if it feels wrong. On the surface, trading Brendan Donovan feels insane. But when you strip away emotion and examine roster construction, timelines, and market pressure, the logic becomes uncomfortable, but undeniable. Boston is desperate for veteran infield help. They believe they had stability. They do not. They believed youth would bridge the gap. It hasn't. Donovan offers positional flexibility, plate discipline, defense, leadership, and postseason composure, all at a controllable cost. From Boston's perspective, this is a perfect fit. And from St. Louis' perspective, this is where things get complicated and revealing. This is not nepotism. It's market efficiency. There's been chatter online suggesting this Cardinals Red Sox pipeline exists because of front office familiarity. That assumption doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Only two players Chaim Bloom has acquired this offseason were directly connected to his tenure in Boston. This isn't a comfort zone strategy. This is a market language strategy. Two organizations aligned in valuation models, contract tolerance, and competitive windows. These teams understand each other. And that understanding accelerates negotiations. More importantly, it raises leverage. Because Boston is not the only team calling about Brendan Donovan. The Donovan market is massive, and that changes everything. Let's list the confirmed and reported suitors. Boston Red Sox, Los Angeles Dodgers, Seattle Mariners, San Francisco Giants, Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City Royals, earlier involvement. Dodgers media in particular is openly lobbying for Donovan. Articles, podcasts, and insiders are actively pushing Los Angeles to act. That matters. Because media pressure raises urgency. Urgency raises offers. And offers raise returns. This is simple economics. Brendan Donovan is currently one of the most sought-after position players on the trade market. Not because he's flashy, but because he's reliable, versatile, and affordable. That combination is rare. Let's be clear, this is not a knock on Donovan. This is critical to say out loud. The Cardinals are not trying to dump Brendan Donovan because he's flawed. Quite the opposite. He plays everywhere. He produces consistently. He represents the organization well. He's active in the community. He is the kind of player teams want, which is exactly why his value may never be higher than it is right now. And that brings us to the hard truth about where the Cardinals are. The Cardinals are rebuilding, whether we like it or not. This isn't a soft reset. This isn't a retool. This is a rebuild. And the clearest signal of that reality involves a name that looms over everything else. Wish list item number 1. Nolan Arenado must be moved. This is the most emotionally difficult move. And the most necessary. Nolan Arenado is still a good player. He can still defend at a high level. On a contender, he might rebound offensively. But none of that aligns with St. Louis's current trajectory. A 35-year-old third baseman owed $52 million over the next 2 seasons does not belong on a rebuilding roster. Not financially. Not competitively. Not strategically. Fangraphs projects the Cardinals' payroll to drop roughly $40 million before opening day. That projection alone tells you everything you need to know. This money is coming off the books. The only question is how. The fits for Arenado are real, and they're there. Several teams make sense. Seattle Mariners, desperate for infield stability. Boston Red Sox, unresolved third base situation. Arizona Diamondbacks, uncertainty at the position. Detroit Tigers, exploring veteran infield options. Los Angeles Angels, clearing Rendon's shadow. Arenado doesn't need to be elite for these teams. He just needs to be competent, professional, and experienced. That's enough. And for the Cardinals, moving him clears money, clears space, and opens opportunities for players who actually fit the window. Which leads directly back to Donovan. Trading Arenado alone isn't enough. The infield is still crowded. Donovan, while younger, doesn't align perfectly with a 2027 to 2028 contention window either. He'll be nearing the back half of his prime, just as the Cardinals hope to emerge. That doesn't mean he must be traded. It means he should only be traded if the return is overwhelming. Wishlist item number 2. Trade Donovan, only for a king's ransom. This is the line in the sand. If the Cardinals receive multiple top 10 organizational prospects, or a young, controllable MLB-ready bat, or a centerpiece outfielder with upside, then you pull the trigger. If not, you walk away. Because Donovan still has value on the roster. Leadership matters, stability matters. But if Boston comes calling with a player like Tristan Casas, a frustrated, power-hitting 25-year-old with upside, the conversation changes immediately. So does the Seattle package? Names like Lazaro Montes, Cole Emerson, or even pitching help, like Bryce Miller, fundamentally alter the rebuild timeline. That's what this is about. Wishlist item number 3. Add a veteran outfield bat. If Arenado and Donovan are both moved, Lars Nootbaar becomes the oldest position player on the roster. That's not sustainable. Young teams need veterans, not stars, not long-term commitments, but professionals. Names like Miguel Andujar, Austin Hayes, Jesse Winker, 1-year deals, low risk, tradable at the deadline. These aren't rebuild blockers, they're buffers. They protect young players from being overwhelmed. They stabilize lineups. They create options. This is chess, not checkers. Every move the Cardinals are making connects to another. Payroll flexibility. Prospect accumulation. Positional clarity. This isn't random. It's deliberate. Painful, yes. Uncomfortable, absolutely. But necessary. The bigger picture. A few years from now, Jordan Walker is anchoring the lineup. Ma-Sin Win is controlling the infield. The pitching pipeline is mature and lethal. And this offseason, this is the moment everything changed. The moment the Cardinals chose sustainability over sentiment. Final thoughts. This isn't the end. It's the foundation. More moves are coming. More names will surface. More shockwaves will hit. And I'll be here breaking down every single one. Now I want to hear from you. Should Arenado be traded, and where? Is Donovan untouchable, or is the right offer out there? Which veteran bat makes the most sense? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found value in this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're covering this offseason move by move, and it's just getting started. Let's go, Cardinals.